That evening, the Arizona desert was at its most spectacular, with burnt orange cliffs in the background, a beautiful pastel sky, and a gentle breeze rustling the hanging lanterns that adorn the outdoor space. It was thought to be sacred, even magical. Aurora Brown's wedding day arrived, the day she had dreamed about since she was a young child. The elaborately adorned grounds, where hand-tied floral arrangements meet bohemian decor, exquisite tea lights floated in mason jars, and rose petals were carefully placed along the aisle, were bustling with dozens of guests. A quartet of 4 strings practiced quietly under an archway covered with linen. From the gentle clinking of champagne glasses to the poignant looks shared between sisters and ex-wives who now function more like seasoned battle buddies than family, TLC cameras hovered covertly, filming everything. "He's not here yet, is he?" was already a whisper among the production team. Of course, they were talking about Cody Brown. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And he wasn't what anybody had anticipated when he eventually showed there, 37 minutes late. Cody was no longer the polished reality TV personality who used to command the screen with theatrical charisma and flash pearly teeth in confessional interviews. Something unkempt and erratic took his place. A man with an incorrectly colored tie, his shirt half untucked, and a chaotic, erratic atmosphere. He looked around the venue as if he were trying to figure out a plot. His lips were quivering slightly, and his jaw was taut, as if he were trying to contain a volcanic eruption. He didn't welcome visitors. Didn't grin. He hurried past Christine without so much as a glance, ignored Janelle's raised eyebrow, and muttered something inaudible when Mary attempted a pleasant hello. He headed straight for Robin, who was outside the bridal tent fussing over Aurora's veil. "What is this?" Cody clutched Robin's arm a bit too firmly and snarled beneath his breath. "Why wasn't I informed that she wouldn't be accompanying me on our walk?" Robin stopped. "Not right now, Cody. Please. Aurora's day is today. Avoid doing this." "I'm her dad," he growled softly. "I believed I was at least. But all of a sudden, I'm not asked to speak a blessing, I'm not asked to participate in the rehearsal, and I'm not even there to be with her when she comes down the aisle. Who am I? At a stranger's wedding as a guest?" She was stunned as she looked at him. "We talked about this. You said you'd be calm. You promised to stand by her even if, although I'm not wanted?" Cody cut in, his tone low and bitter. "Is that the nature of this?" The ceremony was about to start, so a production assistant hurried over to usher Robin away before she could reply. A spooky silence descended upon the audience as they took their seats. With her veil falling down her back and her hands quivering just a little, Aurora stepped out of the tent like an ivory phantom, accepting her father's departure with grace. The music then started. The rise of strings. Beneath the altar, the groom waits anxiously with excitement. A voice thundered from behind Aurora as she made her first step forward. "Cease the wedding." Everything came to a stop. The venue fell into a startled hush. Aurora's body froze in mid-step as her eyes widened. The song stumbled to a stop. With his jaw tight and his eyes unfocused, Cody strode down the aisle like a man possessed, pointing frantically at the groom, the guests, the decorations, and everything else. "It's not love," he yelled. "This is absurd. A betrayal. A stab wound to the man who created this family." Robin stood up, visibly shaking. "Cody, please stop. Please. You're creating a commotion." He yelled, "I am the scene. You forced me to do this. You, everyone. I named Aurora. When no one else wanted her, I was her father. And now she ignores me like I don't exist?" The groom took a cautious step forward. "Sir, don't sir me." Cody let out a roar. "You didn't ask for her hand in marriage. What a man does is that. That is the definition of respect." The guests shifted about in their seats. A few had taken out their phones already. In a whisper, one bridesmaid said, "He's totally lost it." Christine crossed her arms, mumbling, "This is exactly who he really is." It was only a question of time. Mary appeared worn out, as if she had anticipated this moment for years. Presumably to contact security, Janelle murmured something to a producer, who instantly disappeared into the darkness. Robin made another desperate attempt. "Cody, please. You're hurting her. Look at her." Aurora stood motionless, her eyes filled with tears, mascara starting to spill. As though to protect her from something explosive and terrible, her groom put a protective arm around her. No longer making sense, Cody's breathing became uneven, and his hands began to shake as he pointed at everyone. All of you made me the bad guy. You allowed the outside world to portray me as a monster. And you bury me now as if I never happened. This is a wedding that makes me forget who I am. A memorial service for the man I once was. Then go, Christine yelled, getting to her feet. This has already been about you. Just leave. Then security showed up. Cody's shoulder was lightly brushed by a tall man wearing a black polo shirt. Shouting louder now, as though to drown out his own breakdown, Cody flinched back. I refuse to be quiet. I won't be forgotten. I'll share my tale. The world will hear the truth that I write. Eventually, he was led away, still yelling and thrashing his arms like a preacher at the end of the world. Aurora sobbed as she fell into her groom's arms, and Robin sat back down, pale and trembling. After a lengthy pause, the ceremony started up again. However, it was silent, solemn, and surrounded by the specter of the recent incident. Aurora still said, I do. She continued to give her new husband a kiss. However, the celebration was short and the joy was empty. News of the meltdown spread on social media later that evening as the guests began to leave and the production team discreetly took up their equipment. Videos of Cody's tantrum went viral. Within hours, the hashtags #CodyCrash, #BrownWeddingMeltdown, and #FatherOfNone were popular. Although TLC remained silent, there were rumors that the wedding video will be permanently archived. Robin disappeared from the media. Without any public positions, Aurora and her new husband went on a honeymoon. In a statement to People magazine, Christine expressed her sympathy for Aurora and her sadness over the chaos. Mary posted a mysterious video of a lone candle dancing gently in the dark on Instagram. Peace finally arrives when the loudest person leaves the room, the caption said. Cody went live on Facebook a few days later. Sweaty, furious, and talking endlessly about treachery and taking back his voice, he was promising a memoir called Father of None. It was not taken seriously. No more. The show had posed the question, what is family? For years. After a memorable wedding, the answer now appeared to be obvious. You don't have to yell it into submission. You create it with love and destroy it with ego. And there's more. Cody got on a horse while visiting his family's Wyoming ranch with Robin and their children. This made Robin remember the first time she had ever seen such an event. On the May 18th episode of Sister Wives, Cody and Robin spent a day out with their children on the patriarch's father's ranch in Wyoming. Amid the various arrangements for the funeral service of Garrison Brown, the brood was enjoying a rest. Robin, 46, recalled the first time she ever saw Cody, 56, riding a horse during the couple's downtime horseback riding session. I never would have imagined that Cody was from a ranch when I first met him, Robin recounted in a confessional. He was raised on a ranch. He simply doesn't behave that way. It isn't how he dresses. He doesn't talk like it. I remember seeing him for, the first time at the ranch and seeing him on a horse. I had never seen him on a horse. And I was just like, whoa, she recalled. According to Robin, she was impressed by her long-standing partner since he knew what he was doing and was so in control. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's raw, she went on, then laughed and said, it's delicious. After Cody's first wife, Mary Brown, decided to file for divorce, Robin got married to him legally in 2014, which allowed him to put Robin's kids on his health insurance. After years of polygamy, Cody and Robin are still each other's only partners. His marriages to Mary, 54, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown all failed between 2021 and 2023. On Sunday's Sister Wives episode, viewers saw Cody Brown dig his late son Garrison Brown's grave, saying it was something deeply emotional for him. As Sister Wives viewers are aware, Garrison, the 25-year-old son of Cody and his ex-wife Janelle Brown, committed suicide in March 2024. In a recent episode, the Brown family revealed that Garrison had been cremated and that his bones would be interred beside those of two of his grandparents, including Janelle's mother, Cheryl, who Cody claimed had probably nurtured Garrison as much as any of us, at a Wyoming cemetery. Although the whole family found significance in Garrison's last resting place, Kody claimed that personally, he took great pride in being the one to dig his grave. I spoke to the cemetery sexton, who is the one who typically excavates the graves, and I just asked him for permission if I could dig it. It means something to me. I don't know why. It's something deeply emotional, Kody said in the episode. Two of the men that nurtured Garrison into maturity were his brother Scott and brother-in-law Tim, who joined Kody at the cemetery. Kody clarified that although the three men weren't digging a hole big enough for a coffin, he still wanted to make it a little deal bigger. Just trying to honor my son as best I can, Kody said, adding, I want the experience of doing some real effort here. He went on, I'm not even sure if it's honor or mourning. Even though Kody had never dug a grave before, he informed viewers that it was one of the most important things he had ever done because he was getting to do it for Garrison. He went on, it's the final tribute to my boy. On Sunday's show, Janelle told viewers that she backed Kody's desire to be the one to dig their son's grave, even though, as fans of Sister Wives are aware, Kody was estranged from Garrison at the time of his death. The day after Kody and his brothers dug the grave, Garrison's extended plural family joined Kody and Janelle for a graveside service. Kody's wife Robin Brown and their children, as well as Kody's other ex-wives Christine Brown and Mary Brown were present, in addition to Garrison's other siblings. You know, Kody contacted me about being the one who dug the grave, Janelle told viewers. I thought it was perfect. I think it's symbolic and poetic and all the things to have Kody dig that hole. Janelle, who passed Garrison's ashes to Kody, who buried them, told cameras that, even though she and Kody are no longer together, they set aside their differences for the special moment for their son. In that moment, she and Kody were just parents grieving their son together. In order to feel better connected to the earth, that would serve as Garrison's ultimate resting place, the family took off their shoes during the funeral, an act that had no religious significance, according to Kody. This funeral is not cookie-cutter by any means, and that would have been how Garrison would have wanted it. The theme about taking off the shoes is not a Mormon thing. It's not a fundamentalist Mormon thing, Kody remarked. Some of Garrison's siblings gave speeches graveside to honor their brother, although Peyton's act was a bit controversial. After spilling beer over Garrison's urn, Peyton explained that he was pouring one out for his brother. He also placed his own military dog tags on the urn, which was custom-built by Aspen Brown's husband Mitch Thompson to look like a Viking ship, and explained that he will keep Garrison's dog tags on him forever. Both Peyton and Garrison, as well as Kody and Janelle's son Hunter, have served in the military. Hunter added a hat to the grave and also spoke at the service, telling the crowd, Garrison was my playmate. He was my bunkmate for all of my life. He was my arch-nemesis and my best friend and beloved brother. Garrison was my first commissioned officer, and this was my hat that I got my first salute from Garrison in. When it comes to Kody Brown, even his kids have strong opinions about the polygamous patriarch. None more than his daughter, Gwen Brown. The recent college graduate has kept Sister Wives fans up to date thanks to her recaps on YouTube. And with every episode, more and more is revealed about the clan. Recently, Gwen spoke out about how toxic Kody and Christine Brown's marriage really was. Here's what she said: the split between Kody and Christine has been very public. For years, it seemed as if Christine followed her husband around like a lovesick puppy. But as the years wore on and jealousy boiled over, the mother of 6 decided she had had enough and called it quits. What came next was a messy split, with Christine gaining the high ground and Kody whining a lot. Gwen spoke with Teen Vogue and shared that she and her siblings started to notice little changes within their parents' marriage. In the interview, Gwen simply stated, I felt like they should have divorced for a while. The Sister Wives star added, I remember one time as a kid, I saw them arguing and my first thought was, I hope they get a divorce. What kid thinks that, right? In terms of the spotlight, Gwen said, I'm growing a bigger dislike for it. And in the past, it was like, this is my normal. But now it's like, this does not have to be my normal, and it's weird. As TLC viewers are aware, the children grew up with an absent father for the most part, and Kody would have to move between the 4 households, leaving the mothers to frequently run the house in his absence. Gwen has always been one of the most vocal and critical of Kody. She has frequently expressed her wish that her father had been more involved in her life, called her useless, and even admitted that he preferred his sons over his daughters. What I have loved most about Gwen is that she has never kept her opinions to herself. Over the past few seasons of Sister Wives, Gwen has maintained an open dialogue on her YouTube channel, frequently rewatching the current episodes and explaining to her followers what was really happening. Gwen has made sure to point out that Kody enjoyed a spouse who could bring honor to him. She once revealed that he married Christine because she was royal Mormon blood. She also calls her dad cowardly for leading Mary Brown on for years. It is evident that Kody's older children noticed his double-standard approach to marriage and parenting, and now that she is older, she is making sure to set clear boundaries. The Sister Wives star once explained that her close relationship with Gabe Brown bothered her because he refused to approach her despite the fact that she was only 4 days younger than him. We just got thrown into fame and thrown into money, and I stopped wanting and needing things. Gwen told the outlet that she was super into filming Sister Wives when it began in 2010, when she and her family were living in a house in Lehi, Utah. She said that Sister Wives helped her family escape a poverty situation. Life is a lot easier for a kid that's not going hungry. It was quite a blessing initially. The family eventually moved to Las Vegas, where they purchased 4 houses right next to each other. For Gwen, this was the best time for the Browns. However, as with most reality TV shows, there was a dubious aspect to it. The network only paid the parents, she claimed. I don't know if they did or didn't expect the parents to pay us kids, but we weren't paid. Because many of the storylines focused on the children, the decision seemed unfair. Gwen disclosed that Christine was the one who decided to pay her 6 children a certain amount per day or half day of camera time. Gwen and her siblings haven't received a fair share of compensation over the years. Robin Brown is poisonous to Kody Brown's connection with his children. As Sister Wives fans have stated, his ex-wives have implied, and even his children have brought it up. Robin's self-proclaimed ability to speak Kody seems to allow her the right to interrupt all of his discussions and then add her own thoughts. However, in the most recent episode, it appears that Kody has come to the realization that this is not the proper way for him to interact with the people in his life. Fans of Sister Wives have had enough of Robin Brown interrupting conversations with her license to speak Kody. One of the ex-wives, Janelle Brown, shared her thoughts on the subject, expressing the fans' sentiment that enough is enough. Having been married to Kody Brown for more than 20 years, Janelle claimed to know how to communicate with her husband without Robin figuring out what Kody was saying, but Robin had them all tricked at first. Janelle once explained that Robin had a knack for persuading the spouses in the Sister Wives marriage to put aside their arguments and have a conversation. At first, the women believed that Robin had brought something unique to their sister women multiple marriage. It was almost as if Robin had developed an adorable specialization that she used to correct them all when family disputes arose. Today, however, this is far apart from the sentiments over Robin's unique gift. It appears that Kody may have also noticed, as he makes a gesture that implies something is off. According to Sister Wives viewers, Kody's explanation on the show that he believed he spent more time with Garrison Brown was part of his attempt to dispel the negative image of his terrible father. Additionally, he claimed to have had a lengthy conversation with Aspen Brown Thompson, who believed Kody no longer liked her, but he convinced her that he still loved and would always love her. Before Garrison's funeral, Kody made a special trip to speak with Christine Brown's daughters, including Aspen, in an attempt to mend their relationship. However, this time, Kody went alone, leaving Robin behind while he visited with his children, who weren't Robin's, and he also mentioned that a few sons from a different mother were present. This was the biggest clue for Sister Wives fans, who thought he meant Janelle's sons. The first indication that Kody Brown understood his journey to patch things up with his kids should be him going it alone. Sister Wives supporters believe Kody Brown finally got it. Robin Brown is a barrier to his kids. Even though, from his point of view, it sounded like he attempted to mend the damaged relationships, based on what we heard in the most recent episode, it appears that he was unsuccessful. Janelle Brown stated in this episode that Kody was still distant from his children at Garrison's funeral, and the scenes from that funeral episode appear to support her claims. Although the Sister Wives' children appeared to avoid Kody, we saw Kody reject Logan Brown's attempt to assist him in climbing out of the hole he had dug for Garrison's urn. Still, unless it was Robin or her kids, no one was near Kody most of the time at the burial service or at the ranch after they came back from the cemetery. So it looks like he is still estranged from his kids, as Janelle suggested on the most recent episode of the TLC series Sister Wives, recently aired what was likely its most heartbreaking episode to date. In the May 5, 2025 episode, viewers watched as the Brown family learned 25-year-old Garrison, the son of Cody and Janelle Brown, had died by suicide. Garrison's death happened over a year prior, in March 2024. While his passing made headlines at the time, this is the first time Sister Wives addressed the tragedy on screen. Due to the show's delayed production schedule, fans knew the moment was coming. But nothing could have prepared them for the rawness of the scene. Rather than dramatizing events, TLC let the silence speak for itself, cutting to black after Mary took a devastating call from Kody while filming. What came next was a candid look at how the fractured family coped with the loss, which Sister Wives will likely continue to explore throughout the season. The episode started like any other, with Mary in the confessional booth. She was about to discuss something unrelated, her birthday, but became visibly distracted when her phone kept ringing. However, Mary's tone changed when she got a text from Kody saying it's an emergency. She finally picked, and her face dropped. The screen then faded to black, with white lettering delivering the sad news. On March 5, 2024, Kody and Janelle's son Garrison passed away. Mary immediately paused filming to drive to Cody and Robin's house, where she was met by more family members. Later, in a confessional, Mary admitted to being in disbelief upon hearing the news from Kody. He told me the words that I'll never forget. He says, "Garrison took his life." And I had this strange, unreal moment where no, it wasn't one of our children. No, that is not what they will do. Do you know? It was a reminder that Sister Wives is more than just a reality show about multiple marriages. It's about a real family, and in its current season, it's a deep dive into loss and grief. The rest of the episode mostly took place in confessionals, where the family tried to make sense of what happened. Janelle revealed she'd been texting Garrison throughout the day, saying there was nothing unusual in their conversation, though she knew he'd been struggling. There was nothing scripted about the scene, she recalled. However, she became concerned when her son stopped replying at 8:30 p.m. and contacted his brothers, Hunter and Logan, to ask them to check on him. Later that evening, Gabriel, one of the other brothers, called Janelle after visiting Garrison's home and discovering him dead. Kody and Garrison had a tense relationship because of the fallout from the family's pandemic tensions, and he confessed on camera that he was filled with guilt and asked if there was anything he could have done to stop Garrison's death. He went on, visibly broken. "All the frustration I had, all of a sudden, that's so unimportant. I'm just sad about what would have been. It makes me feel connected to him to do the what-ifs." Whether or not viewers sympathize with Kody, it's evident that his grief and regret are real. Perhaps the most sobering part of the episode was when the family began to explore the factors that may have contributed to Garrison's suicide. Janelle mentioned that he'd battled depression and anxiety for years, and that alcohol became his coping mechanism, but that his drinking worsened during COVID. Although the family provided all the love, all the support, all the resources, Janelle said something about that night was different. Although the topic of mental health has been discussed on Sister Wives before, this episode had the family and, consequently, the audience face it head-on. Janelle stated that Gabriel had previously been receiving therapy before Garrison's passing. The death set him back, but he's doing okay. The Brown family will undoubtedly never be the same again, and by revealing their suffering so publicly, Sister Wives produced one of its most frank, significant, and tragic episodes ever. Janelle encapsulates the surrealistic nature of the family's loss in one frank confession, saying, "I know that he's dead, but I forget that he's dead." And then I'm like, oh, I remember. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.